Welcome to part 3 of 3 steps to being heard by your husband. So glad you've been able to be with us, and some of you are seeing this on the recording that you've been unable to attend, and some of you are seeing this live. So we're just really grateful to have had you, and hope that you're starting to use some of the things that we're learning. First of all, you had the first webinar was about really analyzing where you are in your relationship. And then the second one was about what you really want. This is deeper than what you think you want. I mean, there's a lot more than just, I don't want bickering, I don't want that, I don't want his cold shoulder. There's more to it, and that's what we covered in those two. Today we're going to actually give you some ways to do the communication, to make them work. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is, I just want you to visualize in your mind, let's figure this, we got let's see, you're going to read me this way. So let's say over here, there's my hand, we have a yellow dot. Maybe we can do that. And here, no, that's not going to work. Oh, here's 2 hands, 1, 2. Here's yellow, here's red. We put them together, and we have orange. Uh-oh, orange isn't what we wanted. Okay, what can we do about it? We can take yellow again and put it with blue. You see, I caught my finger in the Carter. We can put it with blue. And then we have, when we put them together, green. And green is what we wanted. So look at what happened there. 1 yellow, 1 red. It turned out to the color orange. 1 yellow and 1 blue. It turned out to green, which is our desired color. Consider your husband as yellow. He's yellow and you are red. Together, you're making orange, and you don't like what's happening with orange. So we keep yellow because he's not on board to really do anything to change that color. And we change to blue. Are you getting this? The color then becomes green, which is the one we wanted. Perfect. So that is what we're going to be doing. We're working from your side of the relationship, and we're working on things that will help you to train your husband to a better relationship. So first thing that I wanted to mention, you have this here, is that you want to be positive in all the things you say. So when he says, I don't like, you can say something similar. Like he says, I don't like that mess in the living room. You can say, I don't like that mess in the living room either. What should we do about it? Now, if the mess is yours, that's obviously a pointed statement toward you. And so what that does is bring up resistance most of the time. And we have 2 types of women that we're dealing with here. We have the shrinkers and the shouters. And the shrinkers generally, when that kind of comment is made toward them, will pull back in, and they'll say, oh, poor me, I feel so bad, I'm hurting. Does he know it? Probably not. He probably doesn't even know it because you didn't let him know it. The shouters, so you're hurt there, and he's not changed at all. The shouters are screaming, that's not my fault. I don't have any place to put those things. And that puts up the wall right away, puts up the wall, and end of conversation. So what you want to do is kind of agree and then ask for help, or kind of agree and put in a consequence. If you're dealing with children who want to do something that you're like leave their job before in the house they're supposed to do before they're done with it, you can say, you can leave as soon as this is done. That'll be all it takes. as soon as it's done, so let's get it going. I'll even help you get started, whatever. But that brings about a lot different feeling than, absolutely not, you can't leave this house. You haven't done the dishes yet. That's your job for this week. So I expect you to do that before you go out of this house. What do you think of leaving for when you have a job to do? Do I leave when I have to do the things I do? What if I decided to leave instead of fix dinner? Anyway, those things are not, you can feel it. You can feel that response. So just think about being a little kinder, a little more agreeable, and still saying what you want. So I have Carrie here today, and she has been so gracious to help me with a little exercise. I want you to kind of see about how we're talking. Women have a big problem because you've seen the comic cartoons on TV, and particularly Peanuts, and some of them go la 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 la, and that's the kind of talking oftentimes we're doing when we're trying to tell our opinion. So I'm going to teach you something today, and I want to show you a demonstration with Carrie about the difference it makes to use this example in what we're doing. And in your communication. So Carrie, I'm going to bring you on now, and I appreciate so much that you're coming in. You can just click out when we're finished, and I'll finish up with the others. So I'm going to switch you so that you're on the screen and people can hear you. And I did that. I did not do it properly, it looks like. Oh, here we go. Okay. Are you there? Carrie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Carrie doesn't really know what I'm going to do today. She knows the procedure that I'm going to show you, and but she doesn't know what we're doing right now. So I'm going to talk with her, and I'm going to talk with her about how my day's gone this morning. And I'm going to talk to her right from here up, totally in my head. Now, you will probably recognize this. This happens every time you feel worried or nervous, and when you're just not connected to the person or to yourself. So here's my morning, and Carrie, we're going to keep this to about 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right. Well, I got up this morning at 4 o'clock. I was really rushed because I had to leave at 5:30, and I had to get ready for this webinar today. I had some banking calls to make, and I raced out of in the dark, and had a shake on the way in the car. Fortunately, didn't spill it, which I do often. My tire was low on my car, and I was hoping that it would be okay. I had just about a 45-minute drive on the highway with lots and lots of cars and trucks. And one of the times the cars kind of slowed down, and I was afraid I was already starting late, and I was afraid I was going to be late. Then I had to leave early and come back, and the traffic was still going. I thought it would be calm by then. It was kind of mid-morning, but it was still heavy. And I got back and my husband had me making calls, and my son came in with something on his mind. And then I started the recording, and I didn't even record it. Can you believe that? What a day. How was yours, Carrie?
Well, I actually slept in a little bit later because I had woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning and went through and checked the house. Mary wasn't home. And then I went back to sleep, and then I had some bad dreams, and then I woke up later than I usually wake up in the morning. And so I was a little nervous because I felt like I was already behind. And then I kind of slowly got out of bed and decided to quickly change the sheets on my bed and to wash them and to get the laundry started, and then go on to the next task of making breakfast and getting the kids breakfast and starting school and then I checked my phone, which I usually leave in my bedroom, and you had called and asked if I would be willing to talk to you. And so I, even though I was nervous, okay, I'll talk, I'll help you, and said yes, and then realized quickly that I didn't have a mic on my computer, but remembered that maybe my son's newer computer would have it, and so then I had to, figure that all out and get on the email through. We have a satellite email, and figure out how to get the email from there, and then so I was a little bit frazzled.
Oh, okay. Well, now perhaps you could see that something was going on then, and we'll talk about it in just a minute when we have the same conversation using the skill that I'm going to teach you today. All right, so both of us are going to get prepared because we both know how to do that. And I'm going to tell you about my morning again in 30 seconds. And I want to see if you see a difference. I was so excited to wake up at 4 this morning because I usually get up at 4:30. And I needed a little time to think about how I was putting together these ideas for you today and what would be the best thing to share and how to share it. So I went back to bed and I was able to lie there and think about it and put it together and have my thoughts easily written down as soon as I popped out of bed. And I got out. It was a nice morning, a beautiful dawn. Even though it was early, I got to see the sun come up. And the ride was much easier than I expected. We had that one little slow place, but I didn't go long, and it went smoothly right after that. I saw friends when I went there that I was working with in the morning, and just always enjoy them so much. And coming back, I was able to think about this a little bit more and think about you and what you guys need. And I was really just enjoying it. I got home, made a couple of calls on some banking things I had, and they went just really easily. So it was really a great morning. How about you? All
right. Well, I was still in bed when my husband called. Gary, he's out of town. He had to spend the night out of town, which is unusual. And he called me, and I had been worried about him because he started a new regimen of a diet to help him with something he's dealing with. And I was nervous that because he was out of town that he wouldn't be able to follow that regimen very well. And so he shared with me that he had been getting headaches every day since he started, but that he was really actually excited about it because he was having normal headaches that went away instead of his really terrible migraine headaches that require him to take some medication. And he said he never experienced anything like that. And I had been afraid that he would stop doing the regimen because he would get a massive headache and then he wouldn't do what would be, I think, would be really helpful for him. And so I was just thankful. I just remember thinking, getting on my knees and just being full of gratitude, knowing that it was really a miracle from God that this was happening and that He was protecting me. And then I saw my 5-year-old came in shortly after, and I asked him to get into bed and cuddle with me, and he gave me some help, and we talked, and then we got up, and I started doing some chores and getting things ready to get us ready, and was able to do some school assignments, and realized that Kay had called or had texted me or emailed me my emails and asked to help, and even though I was a little nervous, I wanted to be helpful, and it's turning out great. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm hoping that you and the at home have been able to see a difference here, particularly in my response, because we are not filming anyone else on this because it's a more private thing. In fact, I'm going to just scoot you out as a panelist now, and remove, change to attendee. Okay, so you probably noticed that I had less attention on Carrie's comments the first time, and I was really getting a great deal of boredom. I wasn't really tuned in. I didn't really pay attention. I was reading. I did a little bit of looking at my phone texts, and so it wasn't as connected for me, and hopefully you felt that as well. And that's the kind of connection we want you to have as you're communicating with your husband, because that is the kind of communication that's going to bring a relationship stronger together, and it's going to have peace in your heart, and you're just going to feel so great about this guy you married. He's going to be a lot different guy, partially because of what you're looking for, and partially because he will change by this behavior that you promote. So I'm going to teach you this exercise that we just did. And the exercise was to, well, first of all, before that, I guess I need to give you a little more information. When we speak from our head, the rest of us isn't there. And probably our brain isn't even there. We're just talking, just little talking heads, and no brain going along with it. So whenever you really want to impact someone, you need to be totally in your body. Your entire body is part of your communication. And I showed a little exercise earlier to some people that I want to share with you before I go into what we're going to do today. And that is something you can do. And this is a little tricky one. I'm not going to show you the answer. I would recommend that you stand with a friend, not your husband if he's not. I wouldn't do it with your husband because you're going to be working with him. And just hold your arms out. Let's see how you can see my arms. I have trouble every time. Straight out. And you're standing tall, and you're feeling your heart just totally open toward that person. And you're looking directly at them. And that's it. No words. You're just looking at that person. And they're doing something totally different. They are looking at you directly in your eyes, no words, and doing this the whole time. Shoving their hand in your face. Oops, I just moved you. So here you are, looking at them, holding all the love open that you can, thinking of the beautiful days that you were young marrieds, or that you were friends, or that they were your children, or whatever the situation, the relationship is. But I would try this with a friend. It won't take more than 5 minutes. And just keep sending that love. Send that love. Don't pay any attention to the hand in your face. It's not to touch you. Just keep sending love. And in time, something is going to happen. I really look forward to your emails telling me what happened when you do that, because it's breaking down a barrier. And that's the barrier we're going to break down through this exercise. And you'll find that your greatest power lies in your body and in your love. It is the strongest power around the whole world. So What I'm going to have you do now is we're going to get out of your head, we're going to get into your body, and we're going to introduce you to the most powerful part of your body. I spoke to a really intuitive, very brilliant woman just a couple of weeks ago and asked her what she thought the most powerful part of our body was. And she thought it was our heart, which was not a bad idea, but that's not the answer. The part of our body that's the most powerful is down in our pelvis. And if you stand tall, arms up in the air, on your feet, that about 3 inches below your navel is the center of your body. It's the center of your energy field. And this exercise that I'm going to teach you, I want to give credit to Rachel Jane Groover, who wrote the book, The Art of Feminine Presence, and I am trained in her teaching. And this is something that she has discovered and that women are all over the globe are starting to recognize is so important to our self-love and to our relationships. So we're going to work on getting into our body, and I want you to feel that. So if you could, while you're at your computer, or if you're driving, don't do this. Watch the video. But I want you to relax, close your eyes. I'm doing this too, so if you're seeing me close your eyes, my eyes, yours should be closed. Your feet are on the ground, and you can sit or stand. If you sit, it's really good to sit on the edge of your chair. Your back and torso and shoulders and head are all in line with your hips. Head over heart over hips. And your knees are bent, total body relaxed. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders relax. You might roll your shoulders forward a little bit, a couple times, then roll them back a couple of times. And let them stay back. Head is up, chin is tipped back, not tipped down, just tucked under. And your head is in line with your heart and your hips. And now I want you to feel your feet getting heavier. They are getting so heavy it feels like they are turning into lead and just attaching like a magnet to the floor. Now imagine that there are roots growing out of your feet, going deep down past the floor, past the building you're in, into the earth, to the rich, fertile earth that supports our lives. And feel the energy of the earth coming up your legs, slowly up your calves, to your thighs, into the torso of your body. Relax your upper body, your lower body is anchored. Stay in your nice posture position and take a deep breath. So deep, it's down deep into your tummy. And when you inhale, your tummy sticks out and then it comes back. And your back goes out at the same time as you breathe. And you exhale and sink deeper into your chair with a good posture. Nice deep breaths, expanding out, coming back. And I want you to imagine that your pelvic area is like a bowl, and the top of your hips is the rim of the bowl, going all the way around the front and the back. And the bowl seeps down your sides and into the torso. Just breathe into that entire pelvic area. Put your attention on the whole area. Is your attention in the front of your pelvic area? Is it in the back of your pelvic area? Is it on the sides? And then imagine about 3 inches below your navel and back behind your outer skin in the center of your body, a light, a bright and beautiful light. You can feel the warmth of the light. And as you inhale, the light gets brighter. And when you exhale, it comes back to its normal state. Your shoulders are relaxed, your head and neck are relaxed. Your legs and hips and feet are anchored. And all your attention is on your pelvic area. Once you see that light getting bigger, it could be a light, a candle, a flashlight, it could be a flower, a crystal. What suits you the best? Get in touch with that spot, right in the center of your pelvic area. This is your creative power point in your body, the center of your energy in your body, the place of truth in your body. So when you have something to think about, a decision to make, come back to this place. Put your question to this part of your body. Wait for the answer to come. If you have to leave the room and sit down, do it. Now feel that anchoring in your body. And let your legs lighten up. Wiggle your upper body a little bit. Stay touched to that part of your body. And open your eyes. And I expect that you will feel better. In the poll that we did, 100% of the people could feel that. There was one question about if they were in the right place. It seemed down lower. It's 3 inches below your navel, right in the middle from front to back. And I would be very amazed if you felt that exactly the very first time you did this. When I started doing this practice, I did it once a day for about 9 months. Now, I started feeling much better about myself in every situation, but I wasn't sure if anybody noticed that there was something different. And when I started to teach these classes, I had one of my clients said, "Oh, I want to be in that class." And I said, "Really? How come?" And she said, "Well, because I've seen what it did for you." And I was so excited that somebody noticed that something had changed in me, because sometimes when you work inside yourself, you don't know if it's really being seen. And so I tested it further, and I asked a gentleman at church who was a psychologist and was more aware of people and their behavior and what happens with them. And so I said, "I just wondered if you noticed anything different in me in the last year." And he said, "Are you kidding?" He said, "Something is going on with you, and you are just shining." And it was so exciting to have that recognition that somebody actually noticed. It was enough for me to know that I was happy in almost every relationship I had, and that this was a real key to bringing that to me. But to have people notice and tell you they could see that in you was really a kind of a seal the deal thing for me. And so I'm hoping that you will practice this. And one of the things that is exciting is that I'm going to give you a gift at the end of this, and I will tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you, I'll tell you later what I'm not going to tell you, but I think you'll be thrilled to have that. So I'm hoping that this was a valuable exercise for you. And what I wanted to point out is that we don't want, in a summary, we do not want to cause resistance by having an attitude. Shouters need to find a way to talk that will be better for the situation and not cause that resistance to come up. So shrinkers will get rid of the diseases that are starting in their body because they're holding it all in, and they don't even recognize they're causing resistance as well, and it's hurting them. So we want to get so we aren't putting out little signals and being bickery and just naggy because we have something on our mind that's bothering us and we haven't talked about it. And so what I am going to give you as a gift today is the audio version of this exercise. It'll be a little bit different, but about 5 to 8 minutes long. And you'll be able to put it in your phones or in your computers. And excuse me, I would recommend that you do it at least 4 to 6 times a week. And you will find that light gets brighter, you feel a whole lot of different things happening in your body. And the other gift that I'm giving that I wasn't going to tell you about is that I'm going to give you the opportunity to be on a call with me for an hour, up to an hour. And I will help you to get past whatever is holding you back from getting this working in your body, and talk about how you could best use it in your relationship, how it could change how you feel, and when you change how you feel, everything will change. So that's what's going to be coming. I'll be sending that out along with the information from the first all three videos. So you will have those in your possession to rewatch. And I'm hoping that you have a wonderful day. You see the second version of Carrie's and My Morning, not the first, because you've been practicing this wonderful relaxation technique and dropping everything down to your energy center, which is where your wisdom is, which is where your happiness is, which is where the glow on your face comes from and which keeps you out of your head. One little tip, anytime you feel pushing out in your shoulders, you feel tension in your shoulders, you're not down there. That's just it. Anytime you feel tension in your shoulders, do some kind of exercise, let it go, drop down. You can put all the tension you want down there in your pelvic area, and it'll take care of it. I thank you so much for coming. I thank you for being part of this 3-part webinar. I'm looking forward to your calls, your emails. You can always answer the emails I send. I will be sending emails out each week this month. So happy holidays to you, and love you very much. Looking for the best in your lives. I'm doing this too, so if you're seeing me close your eyes, my eyes, yours should be closed. Your feet are on the ground, and you can sit or stand. If you sit, it's really good to sit on the edge of your chair. Your back and torso and shoulders and head are all in line with your hips. Head over heart over hips. And your knees are bent, total body relaxed. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders relax. You might roll your shoulders forward a little bit, a couple times, then roll them back a couple of times. And let them stay back. Head is up, chin is tipped back, not tipped down, just tucked under. And your head is in line with your heart and your hips. And now I want you to feel your feet getting heavier. They are getting so heavy it feels like they are turning into lead and just attaching like a magnet to the floor. Now imagine that there are roots growing out of your feet, going deep down past the floor, past the building you're in, into the earth, to the rich, fertile earth that supports our lives. And feel the energy of the earth coming up your legs, slowly up your calves, to your thighs, into the torso of your body. Relax your upper body. Your lower body is anchored. Stay in your nice posture position and take a deep breath. So deep, it's down deep into your tummy. And when you inhale, your tummy sticks out and then it comes back. And your back goes out at the same time as you breathe. And you exhale and sink deeper into your chair with a good posture. Nice deep breaths, expanding out, coming back. And I want you to imagine that your pelvic area is like a bowl, and the top of your hips is the rim of the bowl, going all the way around the front and the back. And the bowl seeps down your sides and into the torso. Just breathe into that entire pelvic area. Put your attention on the whole area. Is your attention in the front of your pelvic area? Is it in the back of your pelvic area? Is it on the sides? And then imagine about 3 inches below your navel and back behind your outer skin in the center of your body, a light, a bright and beautiful light. You can feel the warmth of the light. And as you inhale, the light gets brighter. And when you exhale, it comes back to its normal state. Your shoulders are relaxed, your head and neck are relaxed. Our legs and hips and feet are anchored. And all your attention is on your pelvic area. Once you see that light getting bigger, it could be a light, a candle, a flashlight, it could be a flower, a crystal. What suits you the best? Get in touch with that spot, right in the center of your pelvic area. This is your creative power point in your body, the center of your energy in your body, the place of truth in your body. So when you have something to think about, a decision to make, come back to this place. Put your question to this part of your body. Wait for the answer to come. If you have to leave the room and sit down, do it. Now feel that anchoring in your body. And let your legs lighten up. Wiggle your upper body a little bit. Stay touched to that part of your body. And open your eyes. And I expect that you will feel better.